So in our previous video, we just created the component. We have to do the components where we set up our collision sphere, our mesh component, and our projectile. Now we're going to update our BeginPlay. So again, remember this is for our child class, and we're inheriting BeginPlay from our parent class, but we need to actually tell it what it's going to do when it does it. So what we want to do is we want to have collision sphere on component begin overlap. Then we need to add dynamic. I'm not sure why it's trying to add this other stuff for me, so we just want add dynamic. And what this is referring to is the projectile that is trying to be cast, right? So this projectile, and we're just going to give it the projectile OnHit. That is the function that we have yet to build, right? And then we're also going to have another function, which is set lifespan with lifespan. Right? Remember we created that variable in our header of lifespan, so that's just saying that we're setting the lifespan to that. So that's our BeginPlay, and now we want to actually make our OnHit. So this one's going to be a little bit more complicated. And basically, right, these are all the parameters that we're passing into it, and then we'll get to deal with what it's actually doing. So the first thing we need is the owner of this. So just like we've done in the blueprints, where you cast onto it, we're going to get the actor, and we're going to just call it my owner, and get owner. So this is saying, right, we need to get information from the owner or the person who's doing the projectile, which is the player, right? The player is doing the projectile. We need to get some of their personal information so that we could do stuff with this. And so then we're going to just say, if not that, if not my owner, and what that is saying is then return. This is saying if this is null, right? If when we try to go get information about the owner and that there's nothing there, then it's just going to exit out of this and not actually do anything. Because if you never want to try to do anything with a null variable, because then that's kind of bad. And then the next loop, our next conditional if statement that we're going to look at is if other actor and other, which means is similar, right? So we got this passed in from here. If this is null, right? Again, if it's null, then we don't want to do this. So this has to be not null. So basically, for anything other than null, it will continue on. And then if other actor also doesn't equal this, so that's saying, right, so this is the projectile that we're currently at. If what we got here passed in is not this actor, right, so it's not the projectile, but something else. And then also, if other actor doesn't equal my owner, then we're going to do some stuff, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to check to see if we hit something. We don't want to hit ourselves. We don't want to do anything if it was null and it didn't happen. And so, did I have a typo and I not know it? No, it says. That's the joys of the way we're doing this is, oh, that's what I left off. I left off the and in between. Okay, so there we go. That's happier. So now we have our logical statement. I left off an and symbol. So now true to my fashion is I love just having things where it tells, right, this is going to print to the log and say, hey, if this happens and we actually hit something, then it's going to make a warning in the log and say the projectile hit, and it's going to say what it hit. And the other thing we're going to do is use this, it's called BeginPlay statistics. Oh, words are hard. Apply damage, and with some parameters that we're passing in. And they are going to be other actor, damage, my owner, get initiated, instigator, controller. So that's like who sent me this, and you damage. Type. Static class. And basically what this is doing is, this is saying who got hurt, this one is saying how much, and who did it, and this one is what caused it, and what kind of damage. So this is just like some of the information about like what is happening here. So this is just a static function that is built in, and we pass it this information. So now we're going to just save this, and we'll compile, make sure that we didn't break anything, that all of our code compiles, and it didn't. So it says it does not like my apply damage. So let's go back and look and see what if I messed up something. New game. Oh. Got so used to capitalizing every word. I think that was what I messed up. So we'll try compiling again. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Typical Jen fashion. I didn't hit save. Now it's saved. Now I can try compiling again. So I'm getting some warnings in here, but no more error messages, which is good. And so the next step will be to actually create a projectile, so I'll do that in the next video.